Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy talking. Today we're back with another video, and today we are going to be going over if the Eagles should re-sign Jaelen Phillips. Jaelen Phillips, obviously a free agent this offseason, probably the Eagles' biggest free agent, and I hope to go over Nakobe Dean, Reed Blankenship, Dallas Goedert, maybe somebody else, and go over if we should re-sign them. But I kind of want to have a specific player video on Jaelen Phillips, seeing if we should re-sign him, because he was a big piece to our team, but we could obviously go in a different direction with edge rushers, with a big trade, with the draft, with a lot of different things. Do we trade Nolan Smith if we get a guy in the draft and re-sign him? You know, what's going to happen with this? That's what we're going to be talking about, so let's get right into it. So, looking at Jaelen Phillips, he's 26 years old. He's been in the league for 5 years now. Been, 6'5", 260. He was a big player coming out of the draft. The only thing that was kind of the concern with him was injuries. People knew he was a dog in the pass rush, a dog in the run. He had such the freakiness, the talent, the explosiveness, the length, the everything. But the only problem was the injuries. And so far with the injuries, he had a bad one in 23. He had a bad one in 24. He was healthy in 25, but I don't know if you want to risk it with a guy like him. But yeah, Jaelen Phillips has been a really solid player when he's been on the field. That's kind of the most obvious thing with him. It's just, will he stay on the field? How productive can he be, especially if he re-signs back here with a Vic Fangio defense? You look at his stats this year with the Eagles, and then also in the full season. With the Eagles, he had 8 games, 2 sacks, 4 TFLs, had a forced fumble, batted down 4 passes, which was more than, I think, the rest of his career combined. We saw that with the Eagles, a lot of them batting down passes. And then with the full season, he had 3 sacks with the Dolphins, so 5 sacks. Played a full 17 games, the first time he did it since 2022. Also had a forced fumble, also had 3 more TFLs with the Dolphins. So, yeah, he did have a really solid 2025, but this isn't a 10-sack guy we're talking about. This isn't this amazing pass rusher we're talking about. We're talking about a guy that's solid in the run, that knows what he's doing. Yes, maybe the stat sheet of 5 sacks isn't, maybe he's more of a 7-8 sack guy, but we're not seeing that with the production. A lot of this is still a future projection with Jaelen Phillips, because you kind of feel like with the injuries, he's still kind of an unfinished product. But again, he has the measurables and the stuff to be good. You look at the PFF stuff, it's a 77 pass rush grade, a 59 run defense grade. I kind of think of him as a better run defense guy. That might just be because of the stature. You'd kind of think that with him over one of these 3-4 ends. But something that I do want to mention with him is his relationship with Vic Fangio. He was with Vic Fangio from his second year in Miami to year 3. Last year didn't play a lot. 2025 started off the year with the Dolphins, then comes back with Fangio. So he's had 2.5 years with him, 2.5 years without him, and honestly, I think he's played better without Vic Fangio, which kind of makes sense because you're getting a bigger guy to be one of these stand-up edge rushers and not one of these 4-3, get your hands in the dirt and go play football. He's, I think he's good at it. I think he's good with Vic Fangio. I think Vic Fangio loves him, and that's a big reason. But I don't think that he's looking at this as, oh, Vic Fangio is the reason for my production. I'm going to take a huge pay cut. I do think that one reason why he could take a big pay cut, though, is because of how much he said he loved the city. He came in on the plane and he said, "Oh, I love it here. This is the best thing that could have happened to me." He was super excited to play for us. I was checking his Instagram, trying to get photos for this video, and the end of the season thing, there was nothing about the Dolphins. It was all Eagles. There was a thing he posted 4 days ago, still all Eagles. This guy just feels like an Eagle until maybe he's not, but it seems like he really likes it here, and that's something that I do appreciate out of him. when you look at the expectations, it says $17 million a year, but then the projected contract is 3 for 64, which I don't really understand how that works. That's $21.5 million a year, if you suck at math. But am I really gonna pay $20 million a year for a 5-sack guy that's decent in the run? Like, it just seems like a lot. Now, can he improve? Can he go to a 9-sack guy? Totally. I could totally see Jaelen Phillips with 9-10 sacks one of these years. But we haven't seen it, and we're only going to probably be able to re-sign one of those 4 free agents I talked about. Is it really going to be the guy that's probably shown us as the Eagles the least? I'm not sure about that. And that's why my initial instinct is that they are not going to re-sign him. I think Jaelen Phillips wants to be re-signed. I think Howie just isn't really going to call him. When it comes to my opinion, personally, should we do this? My opinion is no. I think that there are just so many edge rushers in this draft. The first round, going into the second round, we're seeing all these guys, their stock raised, the receivers, the DBs, even the other edge rushers, their stocks are raising. A guy like Keldrick Falk could easily be at 17, 18, and whoop, you swoop him up. Bang. TJ Parker, boom, you trade up, get him. Bang. Or the second round, Akeem Messidor seems to be falling. A few other guys in the draft that we'll get to when draft season comes on this channel. But you could easily get them, or you could make the big splash. We know the Eagles want the premier edge rusher. I don't think they see Jaelen Phillips as this premier edge rusher. They saw it as, hey, we have this little hole, let's, tidy it up a little. But I don't think the Eagles are going to be complacent this offseason after what happened last offseason. Because after 23, they weren't complacent, and it ended up in them having probably the greatest offseason in NFL history, all things considered. And so are they going to do that this offseason? I think they're going to try to go make the big splash moves. And you see Howie, he's always trying to go for the big splash. The Micah Parsons trade, he tried Jalen Carter in a first-round pick, and Jerry Jones just wasn't biting. We heard he was calling for Myles Garrett at the deadline. We heard him kind of at the combine last year talking about Myles Garrett. And the edge rusher this year, it seems like, is Max Crosby. Or, hey, you can spend $10 million more and get a guy who's older, I wouldn't say he's more injury-prone than Jaelen Phillips. I mean, it's really only been this year. Who led the league in sacks 2 years ago? Trey Hendrickson could be a huge piece who is improving as a run defender, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he's, a cone in the run defense. But I think that there are different ways that Howie can go to make the big splash at edge rusher, or just get one in the draft. I'm not sure you can get a safety in the draft to replace Reed Blankenship. If Kenyon Sadiq is there, you can replace Dallas Goedert, but are we sure? I mean, he's, after running a 4.39 in the combine, it's going to be hard to replace him. I think the most replaceable person here, Nakobe Dean, you have John Campbell come in there, so that's not really one of those. But, and that can move, and if Nakobe Dean resigns, you can move John Campbell to edge even, which I was for when we drafted him. I just don't see a world where Jaelen Phillips sticks around, especially for this huge number. Now, he takes a huge pay cut. He goes, hey, give me a 1 year for 12, even like a 1 for 15, sure, take it. Lock up the edge rusher, go try to do something crazy somewhere else. But I feel like Howie Roseman always wants to make that crazy edge rusher trade, and he just hasn't yet. And I think he's going to bet on himself that he can go trade for a Max Crosby. He can go sign a Trey Hendrickson, which I'm not really a huge fan of, nor do I really think anybody's talking about, but I don't think it's impossible. With Howie Roseman, nothing is impossible. This guy, he's Howie Roseman. He can do whatever he wants. It's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. So I just don't see him doing this with Jaelen Phillips. And also, if he leaves, You're probably going to get a fourth for him. I don't think you're going to get a third because he's not the best edge rusher in this market behind Trey Hendrickson. But it still is a very good return for trading a guy, giving you a good amount of games, then leaving and you're only losing, 30, 40 spots. I don't think they're going to see that as a big deal. I think Jaelen Phillips will leave, and I probably want Jaelen Phillips to leave. I know a lot of people want him to stay, but I just don't think that can be our free agency splash. I think Howie's going to go for something crazier. But, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments. And, yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I will have a bunch more content on this channel. Promise me. All right? See you on the next one. Peace.